Ever think about, like, celebrities and the stories they hold back?
Yeah, definitely.
It's wild what people go through, right?
Yeah.
Take Sally Field, America's sweetheart.
Right.
Turns out she had this big secret, an illegal abortion back in '64. She just opened up about it in this powerful Instagram video, and it's got everyone talking.
Wow, 64. That's what, before Roe v. Wade, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So today we're diving into an article that really unpacks Field's experience and why she's choosing to talk about it now. It's a really personal story, but it also shines a light on what life was like for women before Roe.
I'm interested to hear this.
So picture it, 1964, contraception. Way harder to come by back then, especially if you weren't married.
Right.
And abortion, illegal in most places.
Yeah.
Field's about to hit it big, but then, boom, unplanned pregnancy.
Mm,
She doesn't have a lot of options.
I can imagine.
And this is where it gets really heavy. So she finds a doctor, one of the good ones, willing to risk his neck to help her. He drives her to Tijuana, like sneaking her across the border, gives her an envelope full of cash, and sends her into this, like, sketchy building.
Oh, man.
The procedure itself, as she describes it, is just awful. She's barely even numb. And at some point, she realizes the guy doing the procedure is, and these are her words, molesting her.
Oh, my gosh.
She's too out of it to even fight back. It's just like a deeply traumatic experience for her.
Yeah, I can only imagine. It's heartbreaking, and it makes you realize that while her story is unique, the experience itself, unfortunately, wasn't. So many women went through something similar back then.
That's exactly what's so powerful about her sharing this now.
Exactly.
Because she's making it clear that she wasn't alone.
Yeah.
And then she ties it all into the upcoming election, which is really interesting.
Oh, wow. How so?
She's basically saying, look, we've come a long way, but these rights, they're not guaranteed. We can't take them for granted. She even names names.
Really?
Yeah, Kamala Harris, Tim Walz. She's straight up saying, these are the people fighting for reproductive rights. Go vote for them. But it's not just about specific candidates. She's also pushing people to, like, pay attention to the entire ballot.
Right, because there's so much more to it than just the big name.
Exactly. Especially those ballot initiatives, you know,
Those are huge.
because that's where things can get really specific really fast.
They're basically a way for citizens to, like, directly propose and vote on laws, right? They kind of
Yeah.
bypass the whole political machine.
Exactly. So she's really trying to educate people, make them aware of how much power they actually have.
Yeah.
And it's timely because we're seeing these rights challenged again, right?
Yeah, it's almost like we've gone backwards in time in some ways.
Right. Like it feels so familiar to what Field went through even decades later.
It's true, and it's a scary thought, especially considering the efforts to, like, restrict or even totally ban abortion in some states.
Makes you think about all those women who went through what Field did, carrying that trauma in silence because of the stigma around abortion.
That silence is really the heart of the issue, isn't it? It's what allows this to keep happening. It's so hard to speak out about something so personal, especially when it carries so much shame.
Totally. And it makes it so much harder to, like, heal from those experiences.
Absolutely. But Field speaking out, it's like she's breaking that silence for so many others.
It's a reminder that behind all the politics and debates, there are real people whose lives are deeply, deeply affected by these issues.
It really makes you think, how can we as a society make sure every woman has access to safe, legal reproductive health care no matter what?
Big question.
Huge. And it's one we all need to be asking ourselves, not just during an election year, but all the time.
That's food for thought for sure.
Yeah.
Sally Field, huh? Who knew?
You never know what people are carrying with them.
True.